Hello everybody and welcome to yet another Platinum review video. It's been a while since I've done one of these. My last one I made, Silent Hill, I think that one's a real up-and-comer. Check that one out if you haven't already. But today, we're not talking about Silent Hill. We're talking about The Evil Within. Now, this is a game that kind of put my channel on the map, and it was the game that actually started getting me attention from people on YouTube, which I'm still thankful for so much to this day. But it's kind of one of the games that I'm known for here on my channel, and I think that that made it a perfect choice to do a Platinum review video on it. Not only that, but the Platinum in this game is actually an ultra rare trophy, and it's a Platinum that not many people have. So I thought it would be cool to talk about it. Not only that, but I've actually had several different people over the years, people still tell me this shit to this day, that they think this is one of the hardest Platinums they've ever went for, like ever. Now, back when I didn't have this Platinum yet, I agreed with those people. But that's because poor lowly Matt didn't know better. That was before I got the truly bitch Platinums and other trophies. I have done way worse than this. Like, I have had so much worse, mate. Honestly, this Platinum doesn't seem all that hard at all to me in retrospect anymore, now that I look back. That's not to say that it's not challenging, it definitely is. But, it's like I said, there's, to me now, like, in my mind, what I see as a truly difficult trophy, I have such a different idea of what that is, thanks to the last few years and the Platinums that I've gotten under my belt within those past few years. I've done way harder than this. But anyways, I don't want to talk too much about other Platinums. Let's go ahead and talk about The Evil Within. So what makes this game's Platinum so difficult? Honestly, it's just one trophy, really. And that's, wait, I'm so confused, because they have Casual, Survival, and Nightmare, but then Akumu's not right under it. What the hell? Hello? Akumu? Where'd you go, mate? Why the fuck aren't you right next to the other difficulties? Seriously, what the fuck? Where the hell is Akumu mode? Here we go. I don't know why it's so much further away than the others, but here it is. This is the trophy that makes this game so difficult to Platinum. Finish the game on Akumu mode. Now, this is the only trophy really worth talking about. Like, all the others are fine. I mean, they're pretty bog standard. You have your typical find all the collectibles in the game, fully upgrade all the weapons in the game, fully upgrade all the abilities, unlock all the different weapons and shit like that. And then, obviously, like, your story-related trophies. Like, this game has all the bog standard trophies that you would expect. So I'm not going to talk too much about those. Once again, nothing really to talk about too much here. Kill 3 living enemies with the drop of a match. This one would probably come across as tricky for new players to the game. But once you get good with the matches, and once you truly understand how good the matches are in the game, it's so funny. One of my favorite things about this game, The Evil Within, the first one anyway, the game feels janky as fuck. And honestly, like, I agree with Jigsaw when he says that's part of the game's charm. Like, the game's jank-ass fucking clunky feeling when you're playing it, I don't know, there's something about it that just makes combat more enjoyable, I guess. Like, it almost feels like no matter how good you feel at the game, like, no matter how good you feel like you are at playing it, there's always this kind of, like, random unknown factor where, like, the game's own issues can sometimes work against you, and it just always gives you a constant feeling of, like, a challenge, no matter how experienced with the game you are. And I don't know, I guess to me, like, I like that because I love the game so much, but maybe to newer players, they wouldn't really see that as a charm, and that would only contribute to them having negative thoughts about the game, I would imagine. But because this game is so special to me, I don't know, I'm kind of biased towards it. But yes, anyways, back to talking about this trophy. Kill 3 living enemies with the drop of a match. This is very easy to do if you have a group of enemies clumped together and then you just down them all with like one shotgun blast. And then when they're all down, run up and drop a match. It's actually one of this game's most powerful mechanics is the matches, funny enough. Because it's funny, like, when I first saw the matches in the Evil Within, I immediately thought to myself, this is a weird, strange mechanic, and one that I've never seen in a game before. Because what I think Shinji Mikami was going for when he decided to include matches in the game was, I think he wanted matches to be in the game for the player to walk up to a random dead body and be like, is this guy alive? Is he dead? I don't know. Let's drop a match on him to find out. And because there's so many random dead bodies in the game that you never really know who's alive and who's dead, at least on your first time around playing. And I feel like that's why the matches were put in the game. But funny enough, the matches have a much better use, and obviously once you know which enemies are alive and which ones are actually dead, you would never have any use for the matches ever again on any other playthroughs. But because they're actually so powerful in combat, they actually add to the gameplay and make it such a fun and satisfying thing to do. Like, there's nothing more satisfying than having a dead body at your feet, or at least a downed enemy at your feet, and then have two other guys coming at you, charging you, about to bum rush you, and you drop a match with that perfect timing, and you end up burning all three and killing them without even having used a bullet. That is fucking awesome. And coming from someone who loves to hoard their resources, like, I like to challenge myself whenever I play games like these, and I'm a minimalist. Like, I'm the type of guy who's like, alright, one handgun bullet per enemy, and then I punch him until he's dead. Like, that type of thing. Kind of like with RE4, you would down a guy with you'd shoot a guy with a handgun, melee to down him, and then knife him till he's dead. Essentially, each enemy takes one bullet. I did the exact same thing in Dead Space as well. And that's just the way I love to play these games, because I think it's fun and challenging, and it adds to the experience. And then there was also the finish the game within 5 hours. If you play on casual difficulty, this is more than doable. Especially if let's say you're playing on casual and you're still struggling to do this, you could just New Game Plus it when you have max upgrade on all weapons, then play on casual, and then tell me you can't fucking get this trophy. Like, it is very, very doable. Finish the game without upgrading any skills with green gel. I actually really like the idea for this trophy. It makes for a great challenge run, but again, it's extremely doable if you play on casual difficulty. And that's the thing about this game, like, they don't limit you too much. They added these nice challenge run ideas for trophies, but if you just play on casual, they are pretty reasonably easy. And then you got all these optional trophies, so I actually liked these trophies, because, not for every chapter, there's a few chapters that don't have them, like chapter 13 and 11 and 9, but almost every chapter in the game has an optional trophy that you can get. And if you're not paying attention or trying to get them, you will actively miss them, and then you'll have to go back and replay the chapter at another time. But I actually like that. It was fun trying to get these. For Chapter 2, you had to get through the entire village area where you meet the first enemies in the game without fighting. I think that was only possible on New Game Plus, because you needed max upgraded flash bolts, correct me if I'm wrong, in order to even get that trophy. Because otherwise there was no way to avoid a fight. Like, they would fight you and you would have to defend yourself. His engine roars, but my knife is strong enough to take him out. In Chapter 3, kill the chainsaw guy with the knife. That was a fun one. Again, like, that's something you would never think to do. You would just shoot him to death. But this trophy was like, nah, like, get creative. Like, try and fucking knife him. See if you can do it. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, I kind of want to see if I can do it. Like, that type of thing. And I really like trophies like this. I remember with this trophy, it almost struck me as unmissable. It is actually missable, but only if you avoid exploring. Like, this trophy is practically unmissable, so I thought this one was a little funny. The water's rising, but we'll get out of this without a scratch. This is to do the big gunfight at the end of Chapter 5 without taking damage. That, again, that's another, like, challenging trophy where it's like, ooh, okay, let's see if I can fucking pull this off. Like, I like these trophies a lot. They're actually really stimulating. Who wouldn't reach out for a man clinging for his life? With this one, you may or may not ever even see this trophy, because it's very situational in order for it to even happen. Basically, in Chapter 6, you can have, if Joseph gets hit while he's on the narrow walkway up on the higher levels of the area, he could get knocked off, and then you have to run up and save him. I believe if you don't, he just dies and you game over, I think. Actually, I don't think I've ever let him die there, so I don't even know what happens. But, yeah, but you would never have that happen if you never have Joseph follow you up there. So some people might not even ever see this trophy unless they look it up. In Chapter 7, it won't stay dead, better only fight when I have to. Again, this encourages the player to get creative and be like, oh, so I can only fight back when I absolutely have to. Otherwise, you need to pay attention and see exactly when you don't have to fight him. Which is, like, it's fun. I like it. It inspires creativity. This cave echoes like crazy. Better put the gun away and keep quiet in Chapter 8. Okay, out of all these trophies, I fucking hate this one. Because what this trophy wants you to do is it wants you to beat the entire chapter without shooting your gun. And what makes this trophy extremely annoying is the enemies at the beginning of this chapter are so overpowered. Like, they have unique abilities where a tentacle will come out of their gut if you're fighting them for long enough. And that tentacle can literally 100 to 0 you. Even if you're at full health, I believe it just rips your head off and you fucking die instantly. And there's like fucking like 6 of these guys right at the fucking beginning. And it's actually so tricky getting past them without fucking being able to fight back. Like, this trophy is like borderline unfair. And I remember I was really stressing out hard trying to get this one. Like, I had to try multiple attempts to get it to go perfectly right. And I feel like for beginner players, this would stress them out more than anything. So I kind of disagree with this trophy. It probably shouldn't exist. They had it be a little harder than they should have, and for no real good reason either. Enough running, I'll burn her to the ground right here. I also like this trophy because it wants you to actually kill Laura in the boss fight in Chapter 10. And she is the seemingly indestructible enemy who you have to fight for a very long time and exhaust a lot of resources to take her down. It's actually only reasonably doable once you unlock the rocket launcher, and then you could just fucking blow her ass up. But, yeah, she takes a lot of fucking resources to kill, so it's not really worth it to do it on, especially on your first playthrough, because you would just burn through everything you fucking have to do it, and then by the time you finish the fight, you have literally nothing left. And actually, if memory serves, yeah, you fight Laura right before a second boss fight, back to back, and then that next boss is another bullet sponge who you have to use several resources to take down, so it is not advised to do this on your first playthrough. But I still enjoyed the trophy. It's cool that you can either run from her and see that outcome, and then if you actually do manage to take her out, you're rewarded for it, and it's actually how you get one of the collectibles in the game. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then in Chapter 12, I'm not taking any chances. The bus can't take much more damage. That one was like kind of like an interesting mini game where you're driving the bus at the very end of the chapter to get to the end. And what the trophy wants you to do is avoid every single enemy. Like, don't hit a single enemy. And there's so many enemies on the road when you're driving. Like, it's a little tricky. I think my biggest complaint with this trophy was that the checkpoint was kind of an asshole. If you let the bus drive for too long without resetting checkpoint, you'll get locked out of retrying. So if you fucked it up and then got to the cutscene, you would just be forced to the end of the chapter, and then if you wanted to have another crack at this trophy, you would have to play all of Chapter 12 again, which is actually pretty asshole-ish, but yeah, so if the second you fail, you want to restart checkpoint right away so that you get another chance to get it. And then with this trophy, for Chapter 14, get the entire generator panel running. Most people, I feel like, wouldn't miss this. Again, this feels borderline unmissable. because it's so easy to find the 3 components you need, and then why wouldn't you pop them all in at the end? Like, yeah, I feel like most people would get this without even trying. But yeah, so, you know, we talked about all the interesting trophies in the game. It's really just Akumu mode that's the biggest challenge for people, and understandably so. So let's talk more about Akumu mode. So Akumu mode, you have to unlock it. You don't start the game with it. You have to beat the game at least once. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if you beat the game on casual, you don't get Akumu mode. I think you have to beat it on normal or higher. I could be wrong about that. It's so hard to remember information like that because so many games do it differently. Like, some games don't give a shit, and you could play on easy and then unlock the hardest. Or some games just have you start out with the hardest mode, like fucking Uncharted 4, which was odd, because most games don't do that. But, yeah, with Akumu mode, the whole shtick is, if you get hit by literally anything, you die. So you die in one hit from anything, no matter what it is, no matter how minuscule. Now, this sounds intimidating, and honestly it is. It can get frustrating throughout this game. But I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Yes, this trophy is very difficult on paper, and it is a challenge, there's no disputing that. But the thing about this trophy, and why I think it's so doable, is because you have checkpoints. Checkpoints exist. So, as long as you are stubborn, and you have that determination to persevere, and just keep fucking beating your head against the wall until you get past the part you're stuck at, then you're good, and then you checkpoint and you never have to do it again. Like, the game rewards you for getting progress. And that's what makes it doable. Like, that's why I actually, for lack of a better word, enjoyed Akumu mode. I think Akumu mode is, like, pretty fair, and it challenges the player to, like, kind of, you know, get creative and also, you know, play at their best. You're presented with a great challenge, and you have to overcome it, but checkpoints make it absolutely doable. Like, if you look at it on paper, even if you're at a really frustrating part of the game, no matter how many times you fucking die, you have the checkpoint. And the checkpoints in The Evil Within are very generous and very plentiful. Like, there's only maybe like 2 or 3 checkpoints in the game that are fucking asshole. Kind of like the one I was just talking about in Chapter 12 when you're riding the bus. But the only reason that checkpoint is even asshole is because of the trophy and that you would want to get it. If you didn't even look at it from a trophy perspective, that's not even a bad checkpoint. It's actually a good one. But yes, this game literally throws checkpoints at you. You get them literally all the time. The second you finish doing something even remotely challenging, boom, checkpoint. So, like, Akumu mode can feel like a slog, and like you really have to go through that trial and error process until you finally beat the part that you're stuck at. But when you do, you can feel satisfied with the fact that you know you never have to do that part again. And it's great. So that's why I think, you know, Akumu mode is probably a little overrated in how difficult it really is. Some people look at this trophy and tell me, this is the hardest trophy ever. And this platinum is like way harder than insert game here, which is in reality way more difficult to platinum. Like, somebody literally wrote a comment to me recently saying that The Evil Within was a harder platinum than Silent Hill 2. And I literally just laughed. I just laughed. I mean, you're entitled, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but it's wrong. Anyways, that pretty much sums up The Evil Within in a nutshell. That's the entire trophy list. We talked about every trophy worth talking about. Like I said, it's filled with a bunch of bog standard trophies that are straightforward and easy to get. And this game, like I said, it is challenging simply because of Akumu mode. But I truly think that if you believe in yourself, that you can definitely overcome it, and it is by no means impossible. Not to mention, and I agree with when people say this, but back when I was doing Akumu mode, back when the game came out in 2014, there were very little guides on this game, and not many people played this game or even liked it. This game is still pretty underrated and not that appreciated by the gaming community overall. This isn't a very popular game, which is why not a lot of people have the Platinum. So it was really hard to know what the best strategies were for doing Akumu mode. But if you actually check out people like Jigsaw, or me, because I have umpteen guides on this game on my channel, you can definitely utilize some nice strategies that you may not be aware of to make Akumu mode overall easier. And hey, I have Akumu mode playthroughs and guides on my channel, like I said, so if you want the help in platinuming this game, you are on the right YouTube channel, my friend, because I have covered this game time and time again. So if it was a platinum that you always wanted but you haven't got yet, don't give up, because I'm here to help you. Anyways, guys, I truly hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course hit that notification bell to support me. I would really appreciate it. And of course, for more trophy videos, anything trophy content related, they're all on my channel, so go check out the homepage. It's all there. Feel free to splurge. And of course, I live stream on occasion whenever I can. I love to live stream. So if you guys ever feel like hopping in, tuning in just to see what's up, what it's all about, if it's vibing, you could stick around for future streams, or if not, then don't. But anyways, guys, have a great rest of your day. Have a good one. And I will definitely see you in the next one.